Hi, hi.
Errors and stuff as well.
Hello,
Let's see how my
everyone.
luck's gonna go. Oh, my luck's gonna go good.
Hello.
Why, hello there.
Welcome, everyone,
Was mine.
to another round of, another episode, rather, of whatever the hell this is.
Arya makes it up as she goes along. That's what this is.
I thought you
Slash
planned
R,
things.
Immortal.
I thought you planned things, Arya.
That's also not bad.
I mean, yeah, but you can only plan so much
The best
without
of
knowing
DMs.
how people are gonna react.
True.
That's why you
With the
plan
best
for
of
multiple
DMs, we
things.
never know
Chill,
how
chill.
Yeah,
Demi, thank you very
exactly,
much for
so-
the host. And hello, Chandler. Thank you for the lurko.
You are welcome to call it in your.
Excuse me.
I didn't add it to your weapon sheet yet, so obviously if you are welcome to call it whatever you like in that.
Oh, D&T town music. Oh! Haruko! Thank you! Thank you very much for 11 months. Wow. Why is this really sketchy.
Sketchy? Why is it sketchy?
Not that. This music was
Oh.
sketchy. This is weird music.
I see we are still being joined
There we
by Pancakes for Pros.
There we go. Oh shit, I have to change that. Hold on.
No, keep it. Keep it.
I am a
Waffles
pancake
has actually
now.
decided to get pancakes.
That's right. You know, there's a lot of pressure being a very, very well fit waffle. You know, sometimes maybe I want to be
Gotta
without
let
shaped
yourself
pancake.
go and be a pancake.
Yeah, you
This
gotta
is-
let yourself go sometimes.
This is the only picture I have. I'm sorry.
Take expression.
Got no arms.
Oh, wow. This is the only picture left. How convenient.
Waffles, I love you.
You're gonna make me like a chubby pancake or a buff waffle. You can't just make me a half dead waffle.
Oh boy. Excuse me, everyone. Sorry, I'm still recovering. So if you hear me,
Quick question though. Did we get money last fight?
It was a play fight to win the tickets. You don't get money or any items because they have to keep it. You're the one giving the money to the.
We got magical items.
Yeah, he let you guys go in for free because I scared the shit out of him.
yeah.
So you essentially did a fight for free and got 2 tickets because Zai made Steve piss his pants.
Go Zai.
We did not decide, however, on who gets the second magical item, so I don't know how we want to do that. You guys gave the first item to Grohl.
I thought we just
It's a
discussed
ticket,
that
not an item.
Astro was gonna
But
get
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Astra's character.
Esther wasn't
yeah,
here,
well,
but she is
yeah.
agreeing.
Well, I
Zai.
mean, yeah. Well, Zai has it. So Zai has the second ticket. She is planning to not give it to anyone. However, out of character, she could probably be persuaded by the right person. Otherwise, she's gonna take it. She's definitely gonna take it because she's selfish.
Yeah, now, while you were deaf and we were like, it makes more sense for Zai to keep it because she tends to be more selfish about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's
Like a couple of our characters have seen you like take items and not say anything
Yeah.
about it, so
Zai
we
is
know
a
that you're
selfish bitch.
To be fair, she has good reason
To be fair, the Discord seems a little low compared to me. I mean, it's fine on my end. Let me Can you guys?
I'm a little bit far away from my microphone because I was
Might
gonna
be a
smoke
little-
while the timer was going, and then I got distracted. So.
My
Well,
mic is currently fucked. I had to do some changes to my setup recently, so
okay.
unfortunately you're stuck with however it is.
All right, Mike, Tess, Immortal.
Nani?
Okay, Roku.
What?
Waffles.
Hello.
Okay, Waffles is really low. Waffles is very
Am I
low.
super low?
Waffles is
Waffles is because
Okay.
you didn't want the pancake.
Apparently.
okay. I turned Waffles all the way up. Hopefully that helps. And then
Am I at maximum volume?
yes,
I could turn my mic up.
yeah, you're at max volume right now.
I also have you at max volume, so
My mic might be super quiet on Discord for some reason.
I was unable to hear you over yourself. So
Roku can be.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
depends.
Yeah. So I did adjust. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Also, again, I'm sorry if I blow your ears out because I'm a little bit. Anywho's.
So.
So Zai's just keeping the second ticket then.
It seems like it, yeah.
All right. I mean, she's not gonna complain.
So, yes, last time our group took on Steve's challenge to take on the Deathlock and some Skellygogs in a cave. They were victorious, and have now collected a bunch of stuff. Unless there is anything anyone wants to do at the carnival still before you move on, then we will be moving on to the town you guys were heading for originally before you came across Steve at his carnival.
I mean, considering Zai's pretty much all good to just leave Steve because she feels she's gotten everything she could possibly get out of him.
I mean, I could gamble like plenty more, but I'm good.
I vaguely recall what I was supposed to do, but I don't remember how I was supposed to go about it. So I'm trying to figure it out while everyone else answers.
How about it, Jay? You want to romance your harem for a little bit?
Romance your harem, Jay.
Not it,
By the
but I
way,
was supposed to talk with them. That's what I was going to do.
Yes,
at the
let
end of last
me
session.
hold on. Let me zoom in, and we can discuss this. By the way, chat, we have the command !Jay's harem, just in case you'd like to keep up to date.
God fucking damn it! I forgot about that.
I'm sure you did. That's
Just
why I
if you
reminded
want.
everyone.
Hey. Baron goes over after the whole ticket debacle and greets the four Amazonesses and the fire breather, apparently.
Drunken fire breather.
He's always
Oh,
drunk.
right. It's the drunk guy.
Yeah,
It's like-
that was the drunk guy who you guys rescued from under the bridge.
Drunk guy's MVP.
Muskoshi rescues from the bridge.
Yeah. The Amazons all come hurrying up to you, up to the same corner of the stage. I'm not going to move them. You can use your imaginations. You're all big boys and girls. And look very, very excited to see you. You came. You followed us. It must be fate.
Hey gals, if I remember correctly, hey 1786 124, and I don't think I got your number.
Oh, me? And she comes wandering up to you and looks you up and she goes, I'm 69. Totally dead face. Absolutely no idea that means anything to other people.
Do I need to roll a
Astrid died.
Constitution check to avoid showing my facial expression or something?
Do?
Yes, you do, Jay. Now that you asked. Now that you asked about it, yes.
Yes.
Jay with the
Yes.
bold, hey, can I get your number?
you barely managed to contain from them.
Oh, nice to meet you, 69. Or nice to get your number. I keep forgetting that you guys don't have names, but I'm slowly keeping track of your guys' numbers. How has it been over here? Like, how'd you guys find Steve, of all people?
Oh, you know, he's a little odd, but then most people around here are, so I think we'll build up a bit of fun. He says we'll be staying here for a week or so before we move on to a different area, so who knows, maybe we'll run into you again.
That'd be interesting, yeah. I'd be happy to see all again.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Sorry.
We'd be just as happy to see you.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, well.
And Steve, who has been listening in, comes wandering over to you and just stands just behind you and gives you a little nudge, and he goes, "Hey, you find any other waifs and strays along the way, you send them my way, these girls. Ooh, you've got taste." And then he wanders off again.
And has half a mind to just backhanded smack him in the face, like without looking at him, but resists the urge.
Zai
Visibly resists.
somehow gets the feeling that someone wanted to slap Steve but didn't, which makes her a little bit sad inside. She can't pinpoint who. She just gets the feeling that it might have happened, and it didn't.
I can see the text chat. God damn it. No, you should not rename stream. We'll be done with the segment soon. It'll be the end of the segment.
That sounds so sketchy. I'm not gonna read this.
It's an Adventure Time
My
reference.
god.
Oh god.
Is everyone basically getting ready to head out?
Yep. I think so.
Okay.
Zaya's.
Mm-hmm.
Baron notices the group getting ready to head out and says his goodbyes to the four Amazonesses.
They stand to either side of him and take turns to kiss him on his cheeks. To say goodbye.
Kara's gonna whistle.
Nice cordial goodbye.
At everyone, his face gets a little bit more red.
The chromatic orb scroll wasn't in a different language, was it, Arya?
No, you're good. If you find something that's in a language that one of you would specifically need to do or something like that, I'll tell you guys.
Well, with
So they all give little smiles as they see your face getting redder and redder, and then all turn and with very, very overly wiggly hips and arses walk back up onto the stage and start stretching to get ready for practicing their routines again.
Okay, bud.
Oh my god.
if Chase is saying
Just Farron over there by himself, just hanging out. Nobody.
with parents saying goodbye to the girls, Ruka's gonna walk up to Jay real quick, to Farron real quick.
Okay.
Hey, okay,
Stop moving.
I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah.
No, over here? No,
Hey.
sorry. No.
Hey, Farron, we got this scroll of chromatic orb, and I'm done learning the spell for myself. Is it something you can use?
Let me see real quick. Can I use it, Arya?
Waffles. How do scrolls
Pretty
work?
sure
in
chromatic
D&D?
orb is not a cleric spell.
I'm also pretty sure that's not a cleric
They
spell.
have to be
I'm
on your
pretty
spell
sure it's
list
wizard.
for you to use
It
a
has to
scroll
be
with
on your
that
spell list in order
Then
for you
I'm
to use
pretty
it.
sure Chromatic Orb is not on the cleric spell list.
Yeah, no, it's not. So I shake my head. Sorry, Ruka. This would probably not be something I could use. Maybe someone else here has the ability to. I don't know if we have any wizards in our group, actually.
I have no idea of the spellcasting abilities of the others.
You've all been bamboozled. Rome is a wizard.
Bamboozled. Bamboozled. We were
Yeah,
bamboozled.
sorcerer and wizard. Chromatic Orb
Yeah,
is.
wizard.
Bamboozled.
Waffles is a brawler lizard.
Brawlers. Also, just ignore me, chat. I'm just gonna set this here for miso. Yes, miso.
For miso.
For miso. Miso.
Well, actually, I take it for scrolls. In order for them to use it, it has to be on their spell list, and the only people who could copy stuff to their spell book permanently would be a wizard, anyways.
So Jay wouldn't be able to use the scroll at all either.
No, you need to be a sorcerer or a wizard, and the scroll would give you
Yeah,
one
be a sorcerer or
cast,
wizard.
right?
Right.
So I could basically use the scroll as like...
You can use it as a one-time use, but then it's gone.
Yeah, but I've got the spell copy to my book, so...
No, I think you just have to have. Let me double check really quick. I think you just have to have the spellcasting feature. But I know he couldn't copy it to his spell book because he doesn't have one.
So, Rain, poked Zai on the cheek, neck, shoulder, whatever, and then hopped on over to where Farron and Ruka are having this conversation, and Zai's just following along, highly confused as to why Rain is taking her. Well, she doesn't use magic. Well, and Zai doesn't use magic.
I'm just waiting for Waffles to check on if you need to be the right class to be able to cast a scroll or not. Because if any
It's a little
spellcaster
confusing
can cast it.
because in
Pretty
Raw
sure you have to
they
be
had a
the
rule
class.
that said it was a little weird in the. I remember it being very strange in the Dungeon Master's Guide, where it was said that if you're the class, you can activate it, and then somewhere else it said if you can understand a written language, you can activate it. Let me double check and make sure though. I'm pretty sure anybody can actually just read it and just use it for the one time, but in order to copy it, you would have to be a wizard, and it would have to be a wizard spell.
Yeah, I think anyone could just use the scroll and cast the magic. 'Cause it's in the scroll, isn't it?
That's
the
how
point
I
of a
rule
magic
it.
scroll.
That's the way I rule it. I'm not 100% sure that.
You know what? That's the way we're gonna do it. It's a magic scroll. Assuming you can read it, you can use it as a one-time cast.
What language is
Which
it in?
means that what Rain was pointing out doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Because she was gonna say she is technically a sorcerer.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
So she'd be able to use it.
yeah. But if anyone can use it, then yeah, it doesn't matter. You guys can just anyone can use it as a one-shot.
But she would be able to copy it though, right?
No, because she's a sorcerer. It's just that it's the same class as her.
Oh, okay.
Right. Anyway, with that small detour.
Yeah, the Raw's is really weird on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's whatever y'all decide, so
Yeah.
I'm happy because I don't understand magic anyway.
Yeah, the thing with the as I can read it, a wizard can copy the spell, but any class should be able to use it if they can read it.
The dimensions on this map are so different. For everyone's size and height.
It's gonna be even smaller.
Yup. Although not that much smaller than
Pixie-sized
we'll be able to
Ruka.
see you, so.
Rukus is going to keep getting smaller till she ceases to exist.
Well, it'd be the same thing with Rain. She's
Ah.
smaller than you are.
Ground punches someone with a little shower
Oh,
of
Oh,
sparks.
okay, right. Okay, I'm reading through the rule. There's a difference between spell scrolls and regular scrolls and magical item scrolls. So that's where the confusion comes in. If it's a spell scroll that has a specific, like, spell on it in Raw, then it needs to be part of your class. But if it's a scroll that's like a scroll of protection, which just you read it and it does a buff, that's how the Raw rules it. But yeah, however you want to rule it.
Right, okay. Sorry guys, I'm just
Oh,
making
good.
sure you're all the right size.
Oh, good,
Currently,
don't
Fur
worry.
is a giant.
Roar!
Roller!
Hear me!
Nice, Demi,
Okay.
very nice. Shall we head on to the next area?
Yes, if you guys are ready, then you can move on to the town.
Good to go.
I mean, to
Sounds
the
good.
town.
So you all say your goodbyes to Steve and to everyone, and wander off, and you follow the path. And maybe 20 minutes or so later, not long at all, he was set up right outside town. You come to Darkvein. Now
New
this map
town.
is huge. You guys are tiny, so you're gonna want to zoom in and take this a bit at a time.
Oh, we are so small.
You guys are in the middle left.
Oh, there we are.
There we are.
I see a church. Little plaza center.
I see this building and this building
shopping.
and
So
stables.
far, all you know is that you need to find the leader of the town to be able to exchange your tickets. So, yes, you come into Darkvein, you see two guards ahead of you, one standing either side of the path to the entrance of the town. They're both female, one half elf, one half orc.
Jay, resist the urge.
They are looking rather questioningly at the male members of your party.
Oh no.
Zai's just gonna walk up, all determined, and say, "We're here to see the leader of this town. If you don't mind showing us the way."
The half elf takes a step in, and she makes her right hand into a fist and puts it over her heart and gives you a little bow, as people in Arcadia are bound to do. That is the way they greet people.
And then Zai does the
Stand
same
up.
thing in return.
Ruka's gonna step up and also bow.
Zai does the same thing.
She gives a very happy smile to both of you and says, "Ah, Lady Luna, of course. Shall I show you the way?"
Please. That would be much appreciated.
Real quick, out of character. Take me to your leader!
That's the same thing I was thinking. I mean, basically, that's what she's saying, except in a nice way. Is take me to your leader. Now.
Brings you guys down to here. Sorry.
We're in Darkvein.
There.
This is Darkvein here.
This is
Yes,
Darkvein.
this is Darkvein.
Okay.
This is the town. Looks can be deceiving. But
Gotcha.
yes, this is Darkvein. She points over this bridge and over this one to this very strange looking area over here. And says to you all, that is the residence of Our Lady Luna. The guards at the gate will assist you in any way needed. And points at another two, another one half elf, another all female, and then bows,
Knowing you,
returns to her post.
knowing you, this is an all-female town, isn't it?
Ruka bows back when she leaves.
Amusingly enough, yes it is, and I did this before the harem. Dolphin before I even started this, and it was more to be an all-female town.
Thank you
Why they
for
are
the
looking
heads
very
up.
confusedly at the male members of your party.
Well, I picked the
Men
wrong
very
character for this campaign. I
You
should have
picked-
been a bard.
You've picked the wrong character here, Waffles. Alright, Zai
So, yeah.
walks,
You waffles want to swap?
walks
You got this,
purposefully,
buddy.
over the bridges, up to the two guards, just sort of assuming that everyone is following her. Even though she doesn't ever turn and check, she just sort of assumes that, yes, everyone is following her, and if they're not, then she doesn't really care.
Both the guards look at Zai and they look at Rain, and then they peer and look at the entire party, and they both just nod and gesture for you to go in. This is a big open bit here, so yeah, they just gesture for you to.
Zai
Go
nods
head on
in acknowledgement and appreciation to both of them, and walks past.
Ruka does as Ruka does and bows to both of them before she moves on.
And then,
So
is
up
this
to
the
this
door?
point, Farron's just been taking in all of the scenery of the town because from the overview alone, it looks quite beautiful. And so now, because at the bridge he noticed their actions towards the guards, he does a bow before going through.
They look
Follows and does not bow.
they look mildly impressed by Farron's actions, and no one seems at all surprised that Grom is making absolutely no effort. And as you all step in and you see this open wall here, you see this lovely creature right here, who is the half-orc captain of the guard. And she is slouched, with her legs wide open, with her axe next to her chair, holding onto it, and her other hand is grabbed onto a tankard of ale. And you see
Man's
exactly
wedding.
why they have no issue with Grom at all. She sees you,
My
she
kind of people.
sup, nods, and gestures inside, and looks over to this area.
Zai's just gonna walk in, nod, and then walk up to. I assume this is Lady Luna.
Indeed, this is.
Yeah, so she's again just going to assume everyone is following her. Just go on. Go on.
Farron's gonna nod casually to the guard and then just stay by the corner. Like he's still visible, but he's towards the exit.
Fair enough. On seeing you all enter, this very strange being comes jumping up. There we go. Jumps up out of her seat and dances towards you, and greets you all quite happily. Ah, adventurers! You're here, finally. What to do? So many things to do. Me, you, ooh, dragon. And then she gets completely and utterly sidetracked, and she gets straight between you all, and starts petting Rain, who quite happily lets her do so.
Zai just sort of stares at Rain in the way that a cat who's always angry just suddenly goes up to a stranger and is purring happily, and the owner is just like, who are you? What have you... That's the sort of expression that's on Zai's face right now. Just what is happening? She's very confused. She doesn't make a sound because she's just in shock about what is happening.
Luna just kind of
'Cause-
pets Rain for a moment and then stops and then turns to look at you all again and goes, oh, yes, of course, come in, sit down, let us talk. And she looks over to the half-orc. She goes, Lisa, let everyone know we have guests. Yes, they will be in need of many things. And the orc just looks at her like, woman, really. And she looks at her drink, and she looks at Luna, and she looks at her drink, and she looks at Luna, who just frowns a little bit. And Alita just sighs and downs the rest of her drink and wanders off and up towards the tavern to go and let people know that the adventurers are here. And Luna comes jumping back into her chair. Says, come, sit down, tell me. Where have you been? What have you done? You can't have been here long. No, you don't look very strong at all. Ooh, this is a little early. Now, what to do? And she
We were
just
told...
kind of sits there muttering to
Yeah.
herself until someone cuts her off.
Zai just sort of cuts her off and says, we were told to come find you. We were told that you could have some information as well as some goodwill for us. And then she just sort of nods to Grom to be like, take out the ticket. Take out the ticket. Show her the ticket.
Grom just looks at you confused.
Zai just sighs and says, the ticket, Grom.
The what?
The ticket. The piece of paper that we gave you.
Oh. And Grom, like, starts searching himself. He doesn't really have pockets. He's kind of just animal furs where he, like, folds things into the underside of the animals, and he kind of, like, pulls out this raggedy, crumpled piece of paper and kind of, like, gives it to you. You mean this?
Yes. Thank you. Zai says.
It's kind of, like, sweaty.
She just takes it with she takes it with just two fingers. Just two fingers. And places it down on the armrest of Lady Luna's chair. Just ever so gently as to not have prolonged contact with it.
Luna just watches this and just giggles. Like, she's just like, that's so amusing. And she flicks her wrist, and it vanishes. And in her hand, you have no idea how she's holding it because it's huge. Astra, honey, would you go to the character sheets and stuff? I've made it so that you can see Waffles' Grom's shiny item, so you can show it off on stream.
Sure. Where?
She says, and then sees.
Sure, I'll show it off on
Oh, I
stream.
didn't click save. That's why. 'Cause I'm dumb. Okay, click off it and back on.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, if you click that, you can see the just the picture, so everyone can see
So
it.
No, we can see all of it too.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
So in her hand is this a great axe, and she's holding it up. You don't know how, because this thing is huge, and she is a very tiny girl, and very obviously a spellcaster. She holds it out to Grom, and it just nods her head and says, your gift from your lady.
Grom grabs it and kind of looks at it and does it like an inspection, kind of. And he's looking at his old, battered, like very well-worn axe, that's seen some fair use, that he's obviously had for a very long time. He's just looking between the two of them, and I like my old axe better. And he kind of do you have anything I might try it out on?
Funny you should ask, actually. We do actually have a little problem that needs solving. You know, before you leave this place, if you wouldn't all mind helping us with it. You see, we have a slight infestation. It seems that a ghast and a couple of ghouls have gotten into the, well, let's say the underground area beneath our church. And we could do with some lovely people like yourselves to assist us in clearing them out. And she looks at you all a little bit warily and then kind of adds, obviously not understanding that it could be taken offensively at all, she just adds, also, you all look kind of weak still. You could do with the practice.
Aaron kind of reacts to the words church in underground, but doesn't say anything.
This is, you guys, this is the dungeons part of Dungeons and Dragons. Because we already had the dragons part. This is the dungeons part.
You mean we're playing Dungeons and Dragons and there's actually Dungeons and Dragons?
I know, right?
I know,
Wait,
right?
what?
Right? Zai just sort of looks at Luna and raises her eyebrows a little bit. Just like, excuse me. Excuse me. She just raises her eyebrows, but she doesn't say anything.
Yes, and wow. So she is totally distracted by a very pretty ripple in the water.
I mean, I'm just trying to watch Ruka while she looks for fish. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well,
I'm
you
really
tried,
perception.
and you got
You're-
distracted.
Not watching good enough, so Ruka's looking at the fish and kind of not looking where she's stepping, and she falls in the water.
Damn it.
Luna kind of sees your look and kind of gives you one in return, as if to say, you want to be careful what you say, I could do you damage. But then is smiling again, nice and simple and lovely.
Zai nods and just says, certainly. We'll help you, as long as you are able to help us in return afterwards, of course.
Oh, of course, of course. I tell you what, why don't you make this little town your home for now? I'm sure there are things you found on your travels that you need to get rid of, or things you need to look for. We have quite the bustling economy. Looks can be very deceiving, so we hold a great many things that you might not think we do. Why not do that? Help us with our problem, and I can tell you anything you need to know.
Zai just looks very pointedly at her and repeats, anything?
She kind of stares at Zai and narrows her eyes a little and says, most anything, within reason.
Can Zai roll something? She seems... Zai is not... She doesn't know whether to trust her or not. Would that be insight?
Insight.
Phew.
Insight. You can tell that she's being relatively truthful with you. She definitely knows a lot about what you want to know about.
Okay. That's
She is someone you
yes.
should be talking
Yes,
to.
okay, that is what I wanted to check.
Yeah.
Zai
Yeah,
just
she
nods.
is someone you want to be talking to.
Zai nods and says, very well. Is there a or where would you recommend we stay while we are in your lovely town?
And she kind of motions out the door after where she sent Alita and says, that first building on your left where you came into town, that is our tavern, our hub, our shop as well. We have a good number of rooms upstairs. You may stay there as long as you wish.
Zai nods and says, is there anywhere else in the town that we should be aware about?
Well, let me give you a quick view of what we have. So, this is, and she's motioning, she's
Yeah.
gonna give you roughly, I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
this is the guardhouse. Stables, general store, and extra provisions for the item store and the tavern, which is this one. This is the smithy and the extra item area, the magic item area. This is another shop, essentially. Above it, this is the shrine. above that is the church. This place is fucked. This was someone's house, but it's all ruined and fucked. And this up here is someone very special's house.
Someone very special's house.
Yes.
Zai.
Off of the village, let's say that.
Okay. Zai leans in close, and says to Luna, "You seemed very interested in my dragon here. Is there anyone here who may be able to..." And she pauses. She was thinking about her words very carefully. "Answer some questions I have."
She smiles and just nods and says, "Behind the tavern, the other side of town, up here, you will find the village mascot, elder, batty person. Call her what you wish. Pretty much anything you want to know, she will either know it or point you in the right direction. She knows, like, everything about everything."
Zai nods. Thanks Luna for her time.
Yes, go see batty old Grandma Phyllis. She can help.
And also, where are the directions to the... They said they had an infestation. Is that up here, I assume?
It's underneath the church.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
under the
which is
church, that's
at
right.
the top.
That's right, I'm an idiot. Okay, she nods and then walks away, and then thanks her and walks away and does all the polite things. Okay, bye-bye. Someone else talk now.
Because we will most likely be splitting up, because there are things people are going to want to do. Figure out which of you guys need to go where, if any of you are grouping up, and then I will cycle through each group. So no one's not doing anything for too long. We'll do sort of 10 minutes at a time for each group, depending on what people need and what they're doing.
Gorl's gonna wait until everybody leaves this, leaves this building, and kind of just hang back. So.
Baron has one question for Luna.
Zai.
So about the fucked house.
Can you join my
What
head?
happened to it?
Have we seen it already?
No, I
Like
think
you-
we wouldn't have saw it from where we entered.
So what?
We wouldn't
About
have-
this fucked house. What happened there?
Oh, you know that infestation I mentioned? Well, there were a lot more of them, and originally they came in and they raided the town from the north, and they busted up that house, and we managed to drive them into the underground of the church, and there are still a few in there, but we have no idea what they're doing, so that's where we need your help.
Dodson leaves the room. Thanks for the help.
She looks very expectantly at Grom.
Grom is he's currently looking at both of his axes, still trying to decide between them, kind of contemplative look. And as he noticed that everybody's gone, he looks up to her, kind of leans on his axe a bit, and
Which
gives
one?
her a very stern look. "I'm looking for a certain woman, an elf, very beautiful. I was told I would find her here."
Of course you are. Poor thing. You must be one of the only people she's seen or talked to in a very long time. You'll need to get to the Isles, I'm afraid. That's where she's held.
And there's a sort of like a frustrated look on his face. "I was told she would be here."
And she kind of smiles a little sadly and says, "Oh, if only it was so, but no, the only way to her is from here. This is the only way you can find a path to the Isles anymore, what with everything that happened there."
Just kind of looks down, shakes his head frustratingly. "How do I get to these isles?"
she kind of looks at you and looks at you weighing the axes, and as she looks at the new one, it starts glowing a little bit. Just kind of the faintest sort of warm, soothing light around it. And she smiles and she said, "There is at least one person in your group who can help you get there, and we'll do all we can, but there are many, many dangers in the Isles. I mean, I've heard tell this is the last place there is a fully grown dragon."
What is she doing there? How did she get here? Why is she here? He starts like going off on these questions. Just you can tell there's a lot going on in his brain. It's kind of just frustratedly spinning through different threads.
She comes over and she places a hand on your shoulder, and you can feel it's a very similar energy to what you're used to feeling from who you're looking for. It's not quite the same, but there is a lot of similarity to it. And she smiles and she says she was always from here. And then she was called back and imprisoned. You really must find her and free her. I worry that you're the only one who can.
I don't understand. What do you mean imprisoned?
Oh, my dear. And she just looks at you and she gives kind of a little sad smile. Says, there are many, many things in this world that you do not and may not ever understand, but all you need to know is that your lady is in trouble, and you are the only person who can free her, and maybe help put an end to this ghastly war of ours.
Grom takes the axe that he was given, the one that the recent one, and kind of looks down at it and sees the magical glow. Stares contemplatively at it for a second. If we help, we will help you get to these isles.
I can show you the way, for certain. I cannot
Kind of
leave
just-
this town myself, but I can tell you the way.
And he grunts once more, frustrated, kind of taps the axe on the ground in like an impatient huff, and kind of and just turns and walks out of the room in a huff.
She just kind of gives a sad little chuckle as you leave, and starts writing on a little piece of paper, and then calls out to you, do come back if you have any questions, although I'm not sure how helpful I'll be.
He kind of looks over his shoulder, nods very slightly, and just continues on.
Hey, sir. Our little group here out by the pond. One of the guards turns to Zoshi in response to his question and says, your best bet's probably at the tavern. They'll have everything you need up there.
So, just real quick, was that the general store as well, or?
Yes. So,
Okay.
there are two separate stores. The first is essentially the tavern. The tavern keeper is also like the general store owner. And then this one here is specifically the smithy and the magical items, other sorts of bits and pieces.
Gotcha.
I plan on going to the tavern first, and then afterwards probably go to the smithy. Once I'm all dry and warmed up.
Aw.
You'll. Yeah, I think
Okay,
Farron
so-
and Zai are both at the smithy right now.
Yes.
Kara's gonna
So-
go with Ruka, make sure she gets to the tavern fine. Because, you know,
Okay, so
Kyle.
while you guys are traveling across the tavern, you guys have made it to the smithy, and before you stands a half elf.
You okay?
Before you stands a half elf. I can't fucking speak today.
Do you want to
Wink,
drink some
wink.
water? Drink some water.
She is,
Everybody hydrate.
Yes, hydrate. She is bent over the fire, working on bits and pieces. Turns around and smiles at you guys as you walk in. Hi, I'm Laura. I work on all sorts of stuff around here. You need anything, you let me know. And then she turns around again and just starts bashing at her iron again.
Zai wants to sell a dagger that she has. 'Cause she has two and she really only needs one.
Yep,
And
no
then-
worries.
And then also look at any bows / like long range weapons, whatever. And also armor and healing items if they're available.
Okay. Jay, what about you? What you after?
Aaron asks about the possibility of paying with a trade-in as well as like with some gold to get a replacement set of armor, specifically scale mail. My trade-in offers of chain mail.
Ooh, yes. Yes. So she looks at your chainmail and takes stock of it and gives a nod and says, "Do you happily?" I'm more than happy to do a straight swap for this. I mean, we have plenty of scale mail around here, and not everyone can use it. So, as you've seen, most of our warriors and everything are, well, rather scantily clad.
Aaron nods at this and says, "Yeah, if this helps at all, that would be great. I quite very much need the scale mail at this point, and it's high time I've let go of these chains that bind me."
Ah, yes, of course. She just takes it from you and shows you over to this, points at this wall over here where there is just piles and piles of heavy armor and other things, and lets you take your pick of the scale mail. And you may gain a scale mail.
Alright.
As for Zai, she kind of moves over and she looks you up and down with an expert eye, and she looks at your armor and she looks at your weapon and she goes, I don't know if there's much I could do for you. I mean, unless you could, if you could find me some materials, I could make you a much better bow. But other than that, I don't really have anything better than is what you have.
Zai looks closely and says, "What sort of weapons? Or, sorry, what sort of materials?"
Oh, well, it's, And she kind of looks around as if to check there's no locals. And she looks quite excited, and she says, well, not many people around here believe it. It's a bit of a legend, you know, but there have been rumblings that your group might be heading, into the... And she kind of gets really close, and she lowers her voice really low, and she goes, into, you know, the Forgotten Isles? Well, anyway, there's this grove somewhere there. The entire place is barren, and yet it grows, and there is a tree in the center, and it's said it is of the most magical wood. And she's like totally trailing off now. She's just like, oh, though I don't know if there's a guardian or if there's something.
Zai reaches out and taps her on the shoulder, trying to get her attention to bring her back.
Yes, of course. If you happen to find that magnificent tree upon your travels and bring me back some of its wood, then I could, for certain, make you a magical bow.
Zai nods and says, "Then I shall bring them back." And then she says, "Out of curiosity, do you make custom armor, perhaps dragon-sized?" And points to Rain. even though she knows, so Zai knows that Rain's scales are probably harder than like any armor ever. But even though Zai would never admit it, she cares about her little friend and wants her to be very well protected.
You gotta get the dragon armor DLC.
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
okay. How much do I pay for it?
$24.99.
$24.99. Okay, so I go to twitch.tv/Arya Oakbell. Got it. And scroll down to the donate button.
No.
Is this how I purchase DLC?
She looks at Rain and
Oh,
she's
I'm sorry,
smiling.
you'll have to convert that to British pounds.
To British pounds. God damn it, British pounds. Sluts! Thank you
Yeah,
very
mine's
much
worth
for
more
the
than yours.
biddies.
Come on.
Thank you very much for the biddies. I'll have some DLC too. Yes, slots. DLC for you. DLC biddies. Thank you very much for the biddies, slots. Yes, I think we're all doing very well tonight. But yeah, dragon-sized armor. Even though she would never admit it, and she'd never say that it's because she cares. But like, Rain knows. Rain knows that's why she's doing it.
She just kind of giggles and she kind of looks like she wants to maybe kind of interact with Raina, but she's a little bit more wary than some of the other people you've come across. So she just kind
Like
of
people
looks
should be.
like
you know,
people
you
should
know, out of character, when I asked you for a dragon that you said would, intimidate everyone, I really didn't think we'd come across a whole bunch of people who just walk up to her and start petting her.
To be fair, you first walked into the land of magic that's run by the most batshit person in this world. Like,
Well-
of course she's gonna pet the dragon.
God damn it. Anyway. Anyways.
Yes, so anyway, she tells you that she would be more than happy to try.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
If you can bring her materials, she will
What
happily try and make anything.
What materials do I need for rain-sized armor?
No idea, what would be harder than dragon scales?
It doesn't have to be hard. I mean, it could be. It probably should be harder than dragon scales, but like second hardest.
We'll figure that out later.
Okay.
Because I've been
Go.
working on something for her anyway. On
Okay.
Obtainium.
Obtainium.
No.
Oh no, Roku, oh no.
Yes, well, Zai's all done with that now
Yes,
that.
so we are gonna make a quick jump over to the tavern. And this lovely tiefling right here introduces herself as the tavern keeper. My name is Juniper. How can I help you? You want somewhere to dry off? And she motions towards the stairs here. And says, yes, of course. Olita came running ahead. I have rooms set up for you already, all upstairs. Each room has its own fireplace. You may dry off and do as you wish up there. Is there anything I can get any of you?
Everybody hydrate. Everybody hydrate.
I would like a couple
thanks.
drinks for me and my orc friend over here.
Thanks to
She hands
bartending.
you out a first round, which is on the house.
Grom followed Zoshi to the tavern. So he's also here, just sitting at the bar, kind of little bit distant. Tell he's kind of like gritting his teeth a little bit, but he takes the drink and just almost like one swing, just picks it up, lifts it up to his mouth, and just glug glug glug, and completely downs it.
In seeing this, the captain comes and takes the seat next to Grom and makes a little motion, and Jennifer puts another 2 down, 1 for you and 1 for her.
Oh, let's get the Grom drunk.
Oh, you're gonna feed
One looks
Miso,
at
okay.
The half-orc captain.
Thank you for feeding
Seem out of
Miso
place
slots. There you go. You fed Miso. Thank you for feeding Miso.
She just kind of grins at you. She says, "What's the great thing about Darkfang? No one's out of place here."
What about us? How many of our kind do you see walking through here?
Oh, I mean, not many, but some now and then.
What about ones like him? And he kind of motions over to Sochi. You know, someone Rolm has never, you know, he's never really seen a Soshi's race before, so he's still like, I've never asked, but where are you from exactly?
No, no. I'm sorry, Ruku. No, you cannot eat Miso. Miso will be very angry with you. You cannot eat Miso. How
It's not
dare-
emergency food.
Miso is not emergency food. How dare you eat Miso? No, eat Miso.
So she
Waffles?
just kind of looks at Grom, like, very distantly, like, almost peering through him to the wall, and, like, just silently goes, I actually don't remember where I'm from.
You don't remember.
Juniper kind of looks at you, very interested at hearing that, and then goes back to cleaning glasses.
What's the last thing you do remember?
I remember a grand vista in the morning.
Grand Vista. You know, sometimes losing memories might not be all that bad. Sometimes I think of them as chains, something that binds me to somewhere I've long tried to forget. Sometimes they hold you back. And
So she just
Grom's-
sort of, like, grunts and takes a drink.
And you do notice Grom's body language is a lot more pensive than normal, whereas usually he would kind of just shrug everything off and sort of just move kind of more assertive movements and you know, anger type of dealing with situations. He's a little more pensive. And he looks over the hat for a moment. So, what do you usually protect this town from? We had an encounter earlier. They said, we've been protected from certain elements, or some such. I don't know what dangers this land holds.
She kind of gives like a knowing smile and just nods when you say about being protected, and says, oh yes, I mean, this land is awfully dangerous. What with the wolves, the dire wolves, the other magical creatures that roam around in these lands. I mean, chimera, sphinx, anything you can imagine, really. It lives somewhere on this side of the island. And then, of course, there are the knights who come in groups and think they can still take our towns after all this time. We have our fair share of fights. I wouldn't be here if we didn't.
Grom, he takes his drink, kind of. Since he got a second drink, he's already mostly through it. Didn't take him very long to work on the second one. And he looks to the rest of the group. Let me know when we deal with this problem underneath. What was it? Underneath the church, right?
Church, yes.
Underneath the church, and he gets up and he sort of makes his way out of the tavern.
Zai is inquiring the horses outside the tavern.
Yes, they usually... some are the guards, but they do usually have one or two that they will allow people to buy or to rent or...
Does the tavern lady know where they'd be able to get more horses, enough for their entire party?
As you ask, she just kind of laughs at you and says, I mean, I very much doubt it. Most people in these places, we travel by magic.
Travel by magic? How so?
Well, yes, of course. There are certain trinkets and devices some of us have, others know the magic ideally that will just take us from one point to another, assuming we've already been there. Very few people travel this land by foot, by hoof, or by cart nowadays.
Zai nods and thanks her for the information.
So this little one right here is another halfling, and seeing Ruka in the state she is in, it comes dashing up to her very stealthily and whispers that her name is Riora and that she has spare clothing upstairs in the room she is staying in if Ruka would like to borrow some.
That would be very useful for the moment. Yeah. Ruka will immediately go upstairs.
Yeah, she hurries upstairs with you.
I mean, it's not that Aruka wasn't naked or anything. She's just wearing like her halter top and like her pants. Let's say.
Yeah, she's got really light clothes.
Juniper just absolutely practically starts pissing herself laughing at Kura, and so does Alita, and the two of them just start laughing, and Juniper pulls up the exactly what she's looking for and puts them on the table in front of Kura and just goes, "These?"
Yes, just these. I heard about them a while back and I wanted to try them. Her immediately starts to eat them excitedly.
The spicy balls of hell. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Aaron's just
there is
watching that
anything
interaction.
General anyone wants, item-wise, Juniper is the person to ask.
Well, I'm still gonna go to the smithy after Ruka gets her clothing back.
Yeah.
Or, well,
I
gets her
think
spare
I'm
change.
all set on items. At some point, eventually, Zai's gonna head on over to talk to Crazy Lady before they go down into the infestation. But Ruka should go to the smithy first and get her poor clean clothes.
So upstairs in her room, Riora kind of quickly introduces herself. She tells Ruka that she is essentially a treasure hunter. She kind of just wanders around looking for cool stuff and is a bit of a merchant on the side. But Dockvane is her home, and that she doesn't see many people as small as her around, so if you need a hand with anything, she's more than happy to help.
Ooh, well, Ruka is
No.
suddenly curious to what she would sell as a merchant. I myself am an alchemist, so I do like dabbling into different kinds of items.
Ah.
Ruka pulls out her 2 antitoxins and her 2 basic poisons and 2 potions of healings. These things I made myself.
She gives them kind of a quick once over and very obviously kind of can quickly appraise them. And she nods and she goes, fine work, especially for someone relatively used to craft. Interesting. Maybe I will find some things of use for you. Give me until tomorrow. I may have something for you.
Okay, I can come find you tomorrow.
And she just kind of smiles and wanders back downstairs to leave you to finish getting dressed or whatever you're doing before you come back down.
Chandler, thank you for feeding me, so I did feed me, so.
Is there anything else anyone needs to do? I know before going to clear.
To the smithy.
Yes.
The item shop.
I remember something about an item shop?
Yeah, that's the general, or that's the inn.
Yeah, the inn is essentially the item shop.
Shopping. The inn is also the item shop.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, they used to have, like, a dedicated, item store, but it was this, and it's now fucked. So...
So they sell the tavern food and the toilet paper you're gonna need afterwards.
Yeah, Juniper's running it all out of the tavern at the moment. Laura looks very excited to see Eureka and asks, what can I do? What do you need?
Hey, I'm here to maybe sell off some items, and I am looking for a few special ones as well.
Okay, of course. What do you have? What do you need?
I have 1 more great sword, 3 scimitars, and 3 light crossbows that I picked up along the way to sell off. Maybe you could have a look over and see what they might be worth?
Ooh, yes, we can. Stick what you're selling and what you're looking for in chat for me, and we will go to Zai quickly, who is, I'm assuming, knocking on the door of the...
Yes,
Crazy
sorry,
lady's
I
house.
was looking up at food. I was looking up a recipe for an
Thank you.
You're welcome, they're very good. Yeah, Zai's gonna... I mean, she's gonna... Can I roll perception on the house first?
Sure.
Once my character sheet loads, and I can press the perception button. Wow, it's a house.
A house.
It's a house. Right, so she knocks on the house door.
There is no response.
Is the door
Okay.
unlocked?
Yes.
She knocks again on the house door.
There
Louder.
is still no response.
So never says art. She walks in and sees if anyone is in there, or if the old lady here died.
So as you walk in, you hear major panting coming from the back garden as this. Ooh.
Oh boy.
That's very, very overly.
Alright,
What was that?
as this tiny,
She squeezed through.
as this tiny, part gnome comes running in, very out of breath, hands on her knees. Here I am. What do you want?
Zai just looks down at her and says, hello. All she says is, hello. She's just a little wary about whether or not this person is actually the all-knowing person she was told about.
As you look a little bit wary, the old lady, she looks at you and she looks at Rain and she goes, ah, interesting. Very interesting.
Lady Luna said you may be able to tell me more about her. And then she nods towards Rain.
She makes a little beckoning gesture and Rain kind of comes towards her and Rain puts her forehead to old lady Phyllis and we just kind of stand there for about 30 seconds and then she comes back sitting on your shoulder and she goes, interesting.
Great. Do you want to tell me what's interesting?
My dear, you should listen when your elders speak and wait for them to do so. Otherwise, I could just turn and walk away.
Zai quickly shuts the hell up.
Anyway, your little friend is for sure not all she seems. You must find the Great Lake. That is where she needs to be.
The Great Lake. Where might I find that?
Oh, deep within the heart of Arcadia, my dear. Deep within the heart. In fact, I believe the Great Lake is where the Lady Morgana has set up her base of operations. It will not be an easy trip.
Zai pulls out the map of Albion that she's been given. Where is it, that lake that's in the middle of the forest?
Yes.
That's the Great Lake. Okay.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to ask.
And then she just kind of looks at the two of you and she says, there is nothing more I can tell you. If she does not know, then I cannot tell either of you. When she knows, you'll know. And then she just walks back outside again.
Zai is just a little bit like, excuse me. Excuse me, miss, ma'am. Old lady Phyllis, excuse me.
Oh, what do you want now?
I was hoping you'd be able to tell me a little more about magic. Or rather specifically, who else may have the power to wield great magic, such as Lady Morgana, Arthur,
You want to know
and
who can get you out of here?
Zai looks around very quickly, hoping that no one is walking, and sees Soshi on the bridge crossing, and just waits until he crosses over to the other side out of earshot, and says, yes, I want to get out of here, and I was hoping you would be able to tell me how I can do that.
She kind of looks at you and she's got this look on her face where you feel like she's really, really amused by something, but you are definitely not in on the joke. And she says, Of course, there are the three you know about. And then there are maybe two more. There is Nimue. She may point you in the right direction. And the only other with such power has been lost and gone for many a years. I don't think you'd have much luck finding her.
Who is it, regardless? They say the same thing about Merlin, and yet I'm intent on finding him.
Oh, good luck if you ever come up against that cantankerous old git. Goodness, just tip him a box for me, would you? He still owes me 50 gold.
Zai nods and says, "Oh, certainly. 100%. Definitely
She looks
will."
very pleased that you're so eager.
What was the crazy
Merlin
lady's
owes
name?
a lot of people 50 gold, doesn't he?
Uh-huh.
He owes Selira 50 gold too.
Yup.
Yeah,
Merlin
I
owes,
down.
like, everybody money.
Yup.
Cereal 50 gold.
Merlin is the epitome of a cantankerous old dickhead.
Does Merlin owe me money? Do I need debt collectors?
Yo, I'm totally good for it. I'll pay you back. I just gotta go buy some
I'm
magical
calling.
components real
Listen,
quick.
I'm
Totally
calling
good
it.
for
No
it.
wonder
calling
he
it-
disappeared. He couldn't pay off his debts.
He had to run from the debt collectors. There we go. We solved the plot, you guys.
That's the whole thing.
Oh.
He's just running from his bookie.
Yes.
She says very quietly to you, the lady of the lake, but she's been lost for a very time.
Zai nods and says, "And Nimue, has she been lost as well? Or would I be able to find her somewhere close by?"
Nimue is. And then she kind of looks at you and she gives a kind of a sad smile. She says, Nimue is in the last place you wish to be. She is on the Isles.
And why do you say that's the last place I wish to be?
And she just smiles at you and doesn't answer you at all. And just goes back to tending her garden and wandering around.
Zai
as old ladies do.
gets the feeling that even though she doesn't know exactly what the old lady is talking about, she has a very, very strong hunch that the old lady is right and that she does not want to be there. So she's going to call after the old lady, thank her very nicely, and on the way out of her, she's gonna go through the house, and on the way out, she's gonna drop off 5 gold pieces on the table, as she does. Also, I sold that dagger at the smithy, and I wasn't told how much I got. Or at least I tried to sell the dagger. I don't know whether she took it.
Yeah, she did. She gave you a gold piece for it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, back to the smithy.
Back to the smithy.
For the scroll, I'm just seeing if they want to buy it here.
Yeah, she will happily take a spell scroll off your hands. How much do you sell a spell scroll for?
For what I usually do is what you usually copy it down in the wizard, for how much it would take a wizard to copy it down, which is 50 gold per spell level. Is generally how I.
That works. What level is Chromatic Orb? Is it 1? Or is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, she will happily offer you the full 50 gold for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell the scroll then.
Kura.
Yes, hello. Kura slightly tipsy from her
Excuse me.
drinking and eating. I was looking to see about if she can get her rapier upgraded to +1.
Munch.
Indeed. So she takes it from you and looks at it, and she says that she could upgrade it upgrade it for you to a +1 for around 200 gold.
200 gold. Kara thanks her for her time. Is like, it's gonna be a bit too much for me though. Thank you though.
Unfortunately, stuff like shiny things are really expensive early on.
Mhm.
It's shiny.
For shiny.
Shiny!
The topic of shiny things. Ruka's looking around, and do you happen to have like a diamond that's worth at least 50 gold pieces laying around?
She grins and she dives into one of the many, many bags that are piled up around this edge, around this back edge of this room. There are just a bunch of bags and everything piled up. And she pulls out exactly what you're looking for. Like, you mean like this?
Yeah, I think that'll work fine. Can I buy it off you?
Oh, of course, I suppose so. I'd be no good as a shop if I didn't, would I? And she kind of smiles and laughs and just takes the gold from you.
Okay. I think that's everything that I need for now. And Ruka starts walking over to the exit, and before she leaves, she turns around and takes another bow before she goes back to the tavern.
Grom was just hanging outside the tavern, sharpening his axe, kind of just
Oh, he's over here.
not really.
I couldn't find his
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah,
I
it's
spent
just
so
hanging
long
outside
looking for him, I couldn't find him.
the- Grom?
Yes.
Grom's already down in the basement. He's killed everything.
That's honestly-
He's gone on his
Problem
own.
solved, everything's done.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
He comes back all bloody. All right, let's go.
Do this.
I wanted to get something quick from the shop. Which one's the shopkeeper?
It's the tavern owner.
Excuse me.
Running late, Farron quickly asks the tavern keeper where he can go to buy things that from the general store or something.
You can get them right here. What do you need?
I'm looking for a couple of leather pouches and a silver mirror, like a small one for religious needs.
She goes, yes, yes, of course. I'm sure I have both. And she motions for you to follow her. And she comes out of the tavern, like, fuck's sake. And into this little warehouse.
She just goes, for
as
fuck's
you-
sake.
Yeah, she falls over and becomes extra tall. Gets stretched out for like the weirdness of magic.
You two are coming up there. You guys see Ruka peeking in because she's curious as all hell.
Juniper
just
just
living
kind of
glitches out for a
smiles.
moment.
Lol.
For
And
fuck's sake.
motions for Ruka
For
to come in
fuck's
and
sake.
like and says to Fanny Rick, she's this is our storehouse, essentially our general store. We'll look through, find anything you like, and just bring it back to me at the tavern and we'll price things up. Enjoy.
Alright. So Farron goes and quickly looks for the silver mirror after quite easily spotting a couple of empty bags.
Yes, you do find one.
And I think that's it for me. I don't think I need anything else. So Farron walks out, leaving Ruka to explore.
Can I roll to see if I find something special?
You may roll investigation for me.
16.
Okay. Roll me Arcana.
Arcana. Also 16.
Okay, you have found, with amusingly 2 passes, buried away amongst all the rubble, you have found a small wand that seems to have some sort of magic in it. You can't tell exactly what spell it holds, but you have found a wand that holds a magic spell. It looks like it's been totally forgotten about. It was like piled with a bunch of junk.
Oh, I'm gonna take that and bring that to the counter.
Yes, so what did you find? What is it you need? And she looks at your pouches and your mirror and looks at them and checks the mirror for scuffs and scratches and then smiles and says, For the new people in our town who are going to help us out, and for a cute one such as yourself, well, I'm sure I could part with these for 2 gold pieces.
Alright, that seems fair. Fern pays up immediately and thanks her.
She looks to Ruka and kind of sees the one, but doesn't really recognize what it is. What did you find?
I found this in the storage, buried away in some rubble. Don't you know what this is all for?
She looks it over, and she says, "Well, it's obviously some sort of wand or some sort of spell, but I've no idea what it's for. It can't be very useful if it was buried away in there. You know what? Why not take it? See what it does. Just be careful. I can't be certain that what it does will be anything good." So you have gained, if you wish to take it, a magic wand that has 3 charges of an unknown spell.
That's not dangerous at all.
That's not sketchy.
Not in the slightest.
That's not sketchy.
Hope healing.
Explosion!
Cure light wounds. Oh, it's a fireball. Oh, well.
Ruka isn't that
Wonderful
dumb,
meteor.
so she's
I mean, you don't know what the
kind
spell
of
is.
feeling to go back to the smithy now. I'm getting cardio.
So much running.
Especially with poor
Five,
Ruka's little
yeah.
legs.
Gross
Ruka's
just sharpening
gonna...
his axe in the middle of town, just watching everybody go back and forth. Just...
Ruka's actually gonna dart out and run as fast as she can back to the smithy. Because she's getting very
Good.
excited now.
Farron's gonna follow, but break off from the smithy path and go up to the church. Is that when Farron makes it to the bridge? Around the river? Is that dirt or sand?
Sand. It is sand.
Farron notices this immediately and just fills one of his leather pouches with sand.
I finally found you!
And then meets
Yes,
up with
you're
the
not
others.
sure how there is sand here, but it is definitely a sandy riverbed.
Zai has gone to fetch Grom.
Yes. Ruka, you are at the smithy.
Yep, I
Jay,
started
you might
again.
want to mute.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Are we ready to go?
Yes. We're all meeting up together at the church.
Grom uses the axe to lift himself up and heads towards the church.
On the way, Zai nods towards his axe and says, "Nice axe."
We'll see what it does.
Is that an innuendo?
Is that a new window?
At least it's not a huge greatsword.
Nice, big great sword.
Holy hell. Plus 15 Arcana?
Jail.
Okay, Ruka runs back in and goes to the shopkeep. Hi again.
Hello. And before she's even barely finished speaking, Luna just appears right in front of you.
Ruka's not two-faced. Then just continues. I found this one a little bit back. It seems to hold some kind of spell, but I can't tell what it is. Do you have any idea?
With Luna intercepts as you try and hand it over, runs her hand over it and gives a very interesting look. It turns to you and says, "Where did you find this?"
It was in the storehouse, buried under some other items.
Interesting. Well, hold on to this and hold on to it well. That is a very, very special item.
Do you know what it contains?
And she laughs. And she tells you that this is a wand of Dispel Evil and Good, which is a level 5 abjuration spell.
Interesting.
It has 3 charges in it. And she looks Ruka over and she smiles and says, "Juniper's right, keep it." And then she vanishes again and just proofs.
Wand of Dispel. And what was that?
Dispel Evil and Good. It has
Dispel
3
Evil and
charges.
Okay. Thank you.
And Alora just kind of giggles and goes back to her work. Because it is nothing unusual at all for Luna to just appear out of nowhere. And then vanish again.
Ruka also isn't bad.
But yeah, it's just...
Impressed.
One moment, everyone. There's some noises outside. I'll be away.
I'm not walk outside. How long between all of what happens has been going on? Or has passed? How much time?
Okay, so it's been around sort of an hour or 2 that you guys have kind of been hanging out doing your stuff. Maybe closer to an hour, as most of you have kind of been rushing and doing what you need.
Okay,
So it's been sort of an hour or so since you left Luna.
it's been an hour and I've left my clothes at the fire. I'm gonna go back and check if they are dry.
Yes, which they will be.
Okay, Ruka changes back into her normal clothes, goes to Riora to give her the spare clothes back. Thank you.
Oh, of course. You ever need anything, you let me know. We've got to stay together after all.
Yeah, of course. And I'm going to give you this for helping me out. And Ruka gives her a gold piece.
Aw, so sweet. I'll remember that. And she goes back and sits at the bar.
And Ruka is gonna be a little bit confused looking around because she sees no one of her party anymore.
Everyone's just
Wait,
gone.
everyone just kind of wandered off and left the kid on their own.
Oh no! Kura looking
Rip.
around, realizing that Ruko's not here, is gonna go back towards the tavern.
Everyone just suddenly stops, looks around. Shit, where's the child?
wait, we're missing someone.
Last thing you guys
Oh
know is
my
the child
God.
got a wand with a spell you guys don't know anything about.
Just wandered off with a wand with a spell, and now they're nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Supervised wand usage.
He's already destroyed half the town with one spell.
Walking into the tavern, immediately sees Ruko. Oh, there you are. Come, child.
Suddenly, everyone notices a giant explosion right about here.
Yeah. Kura leads Ruko over.
Explosion!
Wand of atom bomb.
Oh god.
So, just for reference, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Honey.
Sorry.
This lady right here is very obviously ignoring all of you, and any attempts to speak to her are met with silence.
Okay, lovely. Zai's just gonna
Time for Jay to try.
chill there for a hot second. And then Zai's
For the
gonna...
harem master to
Yup.
add more
Is
members.
she
Zai's
young and
gonna...
pretty?
Zai's gonna walk right out. Just leaving Jay. Bye.
Farron needs to know, I think.
Leaving Farron by himself.
Farron goes up to her and asks who the shrine is dedicated to.
Roll persuasion.
Damn overpowered
roll of the
harem
day.
MC.
And that's gonna add
Jay
one.
will my
That's
harem
gonna add one
powers.
to the harem. That's adding
Oh my
to it.
God, shush.
That's adding to it. Cause Jay just nat 20'd on talking to a chick.
Of course.
I can't slap my hand to my
Can't
face
expect
loud
any
enough for my
less.
mic to pick it up anymore.
You nat 20'd on
she-
talking to a chick. Love
She
it.
finishes the kind of chanting recitation that she was doing, and puts down her items and turns to you, and kind of looks you up and down for a moment, as if she like never looks at people like ever. Like she's forgotten what people even are.
Except for Farron. Oh, it's the start of a beautiful love story, isn't it, chat? Isn't this the start of a beautiful love story, chat?
And she bows her head a little and says, Kirinixa. Kirinixa is the goddess of essentially Arcadia, of Arcadia's side. Anyone who is a patron of magic and sits on the side of magic, she is their goddess. And this is a shrine dedicated to her.
Farron nods and tells her, "Thank you, now I may pay my respects." And Farron turns and does a quick silent prayer to Kiri Nixia.
You feel a strange little warm kind of glow, like you wouldn't, like more powerful than you'd usually feel for doing what you're doing, because like with extra magic behind it, you kind of actually feel the magic in the air. And you realize that things are a little bit, they work a little bit differently here from what you're used to.
Ruka, overhearing that it's the goddess of magic, also is going to give a little bit of a prayer and leave one piece of sour grass as a offering.
roll me a d20, Riku.
Great D20.
Yes.
$19.
You very much feel the same sort of glow, and you kind of see something. You can't tell what it is, but you can almost see magic in the air, and you are very much aware that magic behaves by its own rules here.
Ooh. Interesting.
And with that, the lady picks her things back up and goes back to her recitation of prayers.
Before she does so, Farron looks at her and says, "May the goddesses be on your side," and does a quick bow before leaving.
Yeah, and she replies with, "And on yours." Alrighty. Is everyone set and ready to investigate what is going on with this church?
Yeah, after being promised a while ago that we were going to be heading into church, Grom seems to be standing impatiently at the door.
He just wants to hit things.
Zai just,
He's
yeah. Zai
got his
also
arms
is pretty
crossed.
much just ready to just go in.
I would like to make a perception check.
You may make a perception check.
I'm gonna be using the one that gives me advantage, so you know.
Yes, go for it.
It's a church.
This is a church.
This is a church.
a church.
Person inside.
There's
So
a
she just walks in.
person. Wow, there's a person inside the church.
Grom quickly follows. He's ready. He's ready to rock.
A cleric of the church puts her back down and looks up at the lot of you, and my name is Aislinn. You are here to help us with our undead?
Zai nods.
Slings an axe over her shoulder. Massive axe. No place being in a church.
She just kind of looks
And
very
just raises his brow.
and Grom with his axe, and she moves to the back wall and presses on the relief, and right here, one of the floor panels moves away and reveals a staircase that leads to the underground of the church. And with that, my exam paper is being released in 3 hours. And we are going to end there for tonight.
Good luck, Arya.
Good luck, Arya.
I don't want to start combat though, knowing that we're not going to be able to finish it. So
Right,
Such
yeah,
an-
combat
Such
Yes.
an epic plot
Okay.
twist to end it on. It's a church, guys.
It's a
It's a
church.
Turns out
Wowie,
Diablo's down there.
wow.
We have 50 levels to go down.
Wowie, wow, it's a church.
yes, there we go.
Make sure you bring your scrolls of town portals, guys.
Yes, yes, gotta make sure you
Yes.
have them scrolls of town portal.
Very important.
Definitely.
Gosh darn it, I want to
Throw
play that
things
game
back
again.
up and sell things for you.
Yes, and you hear a number.
Wow, where's Deckard Cain?
And with it, we can push back the forces of Diablo.
And with that, I think that's gonna be stream for today as well. What am I doing for the rest of the week? Probably Borderlands, cause I love Borderlands and I'm obsessed and I have a problem. I have a problem, you guys. I'm admitting it. I have an actual problem. Please help me. Yeah, so we'll be playing Borderlands. Genshin 1.6 we'll be playing through the new update. I'll be doing some gacha rolls. Because I apparently found some money that was just there. So and minis for some gacha rolls. So we'll be doing some gacha rolls for Genshin 1.6, and we'll be exploring the new area. And then on Wednesday we have the second introductory part of Danganronpa 2. It's gonna be very exciting. We'll meet the other 8 characters that we'll be playing. I think mostly of which is all me, so at least I had a little bit to like rest my voice.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck to me, huh? And then maybe some Walking Dead season 2, but also I might not do that because I might play games with other people that I have discussed about. Anyways, we'll figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. You know me, and if you know me, you know that half the time I don't really stick to my schedule anyway. The only thing you can count on is there will be streams. There will be gameplay. It will be bad gameplay. There will be technical difficulties, and we will try to play Danganronpa on Wednesday. That's about it. That's all I can guarantee you. I can't really give you anything else. Alright, let's play some much Raid, shall we? I'm just gonna not stop rambling now.
And thank you, Arya, for DMing.
As usual.
Yeah.
Yes, where is my... Can I have my usual shoutouts, please, mods? Please do your modly duties. Can I make shoutouts? Thank you to Arya for DMing, to Waffles for assistant DMing and being Grum, to Nin for the wonderful Kura, to Ruku for the wonderful Ruka, to Immortal for Sushi, and to Jay for the Harem Master fan. Yes!
God damn it.
Thank you, Horizon.
Thank you, Horizon.
Thank you,
Is there
Brian.
pancakes? Wait a second.
Pancakes of roast.
It's pancakes for
Pancakes
pros.
for pros.
Oh no. No, it doesn't exist. Thank God.
Damn it.
There is Dr.
Mm.
Pancakes, though.
I'm disappointed. I'm big disappointed.
Time to go make a third alt.
Alright, let's see who's doing something.
Oh, if you're doing that, I'm giving that thing a tier 3 sub to Waffles.
No, God.
Who, pancakes?
Immediately banned.
Pancakes for bros.
Pancakes for pros. No.
No, it's not.
No.
I don't exist yet.
Wait, does anyone have anyone
Yes.
online? Does
Yeah.
anyone have any
Yeah.
suggestions? 'Cause I don't have anyone online right now.
I don't
Oh,
know
stop
what
just
me look. No, I don't have anybody on.
I don't think I have anyone online that you care for.
Let's do...
It was a pretty quiet Monday.
It is a pretty quiet Monday.
I've got a Celestia.
Sure. Do you wanna put the name in mute chat or in any chat?
Oh wait, that was her actual Twitch. Yeah, that's her name.
Alrighty, there we go. Alrighty, you guys, I will see you all, if not tomorrow, I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you all very much once again. And I can't wait to be back in Harem Town next week. I love you all very, very, very much. Rest well. And good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.